So it's kind of early. Everybody is just waking up, and you can probably hear them in the background. And Daniel Tiger is playing in the background. And I'm sorry that I shake, but I can't be still to save my life. But I wanted to show you this really cute DIY bunny little girly tutu wreath that I made. Now, I made this. This was actually not a DIY that I saw someone else create. This was a DIY that I did myself. I came up with this idea just from kind of walking around and seeing some materials and seeing some bunny wreaths that other people made. And then I was like, you know what? What if I turn my bunny wreath into a girl? So most everything came from the Dollar Tree, and there's a couple of items that came from Walmart. Okay, so you're gonna get the green foam wreath forms from the Dollar Tree. This one right here, and I wish that I had other ones. And I can do a DIY, and do one of these with you. But I had already made mine, and I don't really have anybody in mind to give this to, so I didn't really want to make another one. And the reason why I didn't do this in front of you guys is because, to be honest, guys, I didn't know how it's going to turn out. And I didn't want to do it and then, waste all of that video time and trying to do all of that and then it not turn out good. So, you're going to get a wreath form. It is kind of a squared off one. Is what this one is. It's green from the Dollar Tree. It's foam. That is your first wreath. That is your head. Then you're going to get the larger round green foam wreath from the Dollar Tree. This is just the decorative mesh from the Dollar Tree, and you're going to tightly wrap it around. Now be patient with it because when you're wrapping it around, especially the squared off part, it is going to give you a little bit of resistance and it'll start unraveling on you if you're not careful. So you have to take your time and really wind it and pull it to wind it up tightly. Then you're going to do the same thing for your bottom wreath form. And then all I did was hot glue them together. Now, you can wrap a little bit of twine. Just get the same natural colored twine and wrap it around there once and just use your tie in the back. Now I hot glued this baby really, really good. So, I haven't put any twine on it, but if I notice that it's coming loose a little bit, then I can add some twine and just tie it together really tight and leave the bow in the back so you can't see. Then I got some, and I don't know if you guys can see. You see that little bit of gold peeking out underneath that I'm trying to show you? It is the metal, it's gold metal, like floral wire. So it's that thick, really, it's not really thick. It would be really thick if you bought it somewhere else, but it is from the Dollar Tree. I can't remember how much yardage of it you get, but it's about this thick and it's gold and it's just this little wire. It's I used that. Now they have it in different colors and of course it really doesn't matter what color you get. But if you do it this way with all the metallic and the brown showing, if a little bit of your gold shows, you're not going to be able to see it from far away. So I did get that for the ears. I formed the ears the way I wanted them and I twisted it at the bottom. And then to secure it together, and then to secure that twisted part, I just hot glued it. So I hot glued it once I twisted that together in the back of the wreath. Then there is that little pink trim. Now right now the Dollar Tree has really cute trims, ribbon trims. And a lot of you have been finding it. I've been seeing it on some of your hauls and on Instagram. And I haven't found that yet. So typically I haven't found the ombre ribbon or anything like that. Typically my Dollar Tree is usually kind of behind when it comes to ribbon. So I got my ribbon from the Target Dollar Spot. I think it was during Valentine's Day and I just happened to have that. But like I said, there is ribbon trim at a lot of Dollar Trees, so you can use that. And again, I'm really sorry I'm so shaky. I'm trying so hard to stay still, but it's really, really difficult. I shake all the time. And then the bottom ribbon, that cream colored ribbon with the brown little edging to it, I got that from Walmart. So it has this little, this little design where it's not quite scalloped, but it's kind of wiggly. I got that from Walmart. Then I also got pink tulle from Walmart. It comes in a roll. I didn't get a bunch of yardage. I didn't get big old pieces. It's not even that tall. It's about this tall, about the length of how you can span your hand. And it just comes in a roll, and it's about, I think it was a little over $2, maybe almost $3, but I got pink tulle. Now, there's other colors of tulle if you don't want to use pink. And then I just gathered it. Let me see if I can show you what I did. I just gathered it in bunches, and you can't really tell it on camera, but I gathered it in bunches, and then I twisted it at the top. Well, first, before I gathered it in bunches, I actually got a long strip of tulle, and it was very, very long. And then ever so often, I would bunch it up, glue it, and then I would leave a straight strip, bunch it up, glue it, leave a straight strip, bunch it up, glue it, leave a straight strip, and then I layered another piece exactly like that over it. So I put a long straight strip, bunched it up, glued it in a different spot where the first one was straight, and I did that, so on and so forth. Then I had gaps that I was left with. So it left me with gaps of straight strips of tulle. So on the ribbon, it was glued onto the ribbon, and onto the ribbon there was straight strips of tulle still, and you could see that through the tulle that I had already glued down. You could see where some of these edges there were gaps because it was such straight pieces. So then in those gaps, I went underneath like this. I bunched up little smaller pieces of tulle, bunched up the whole piece, twisted it on the edge, and glued that into the gap so that you can see how you can see a gap right here. See that tiny little bitty gap? Okay, well, obviously you don't want to cover all the gaps or your tulle is just going to be big and poof and it's going to be huge. But there were big gaps. So I took a gap that looked like this, but it was big, and I just bunched up smaller pieces, glued that piece that I had twisted up at the very top, glued that to the ribbon, and then it made it look really full. Okay, so this is 2 long strips with some parts of that strip gathered and glued until I got to the end of the strip. Another piece laid over that doing the same thing. And then when you see the gaps, once you can step back after you have glued it onto your wreath, because I just folded the ribbon over all the way because you want her to look like she has a skirt on. So if you just glue your ribbon to the edge of the wreath, then it looks like she's got some hips that are not covered with a skirt. So you don't want that. You want to make sure your ribbon goes all the way around here so that you can't see the end of the ribbon, not even when you look at it from the side. Okay, so that's very important because it's going to look silly if you just glue it to the middle. But I did not glue any of this middle part because I wanted to be able to see my gaps and stick tulle up there, twist the top, and glue it into the gap so it would make my skirt look really full. And that's what I did. So that covers all of the ear. Now, I forgot to tell you on the ears, I also put mesh. Now, this is a harder part, okay, because the mesh stretches funny, and then when you cut it, it's not straight because of the way you have to shape it for the ears. But I just carefully, little bit at a time, hot glued my mesh. I folded it over. Now you're going to burn yourself 1,000 times because you have to put your finger on it and it's still hot. Now, obviously, when it first comes out of the glue gun, you don't want to burn yourself. But if you have a low heat one, it's not that bad. I covered the front and the back with the mesh, and then it meets right here on the end, and that's where I hot glued. Okay, and then you're going to cover any of that wire that is showing through or any of that glue that comes through the mesh and it makes a little glue seam. Now that didn't look bad. I mean, once I got done with it and there was this little bitty glue seam, it really didn't look bad. But I still wanted to cover it up with just a little bit pink because I wanted the pink to kind of flow through the entire wreath. So I covered it up with that trim. And then you can get these bows. They are in the craft section and they just come plain. They don't have a clasp or a barrette or, an alligator clip or anything like that. They're just plain for you to create bows, and you can get those in any color at Walmart for $1. So I got one of those. And then I just made her into a little girl, and she's my little girl bunny, and I thought she was adorable. So I hope you guys enjoy this. If you need any additional information or you want me to show you exactly what tools I used, I can take some pictures and put them on my Instagram. If you really want me to do a DIY tutorial, I can try to make that happen, but I do have a lot more videos that I need to show you. Most of them are project shares. And the reason why it's hard for me to do DIY tutorials and go through the whole thing is because, guys, this takes me a long time because I'm constantly stopping because of my children and starting again because of and then stopping and starting. I get my stuff like this done during nap time or when they're really preoccupied, which you guys know if you're a mom, it does not last long. So I'm constantly stopping and coming back to it and stopping and coming back to it. So it's really hard to video and remember where I left off when I do things like that. So, that's why I don't usually do very many DIY tutorials because it's just really difficult for me to take you guys with me when I'm constantly stopping. I mean, I might come back to it an hour later and not even remember where I left off talking to you guys. So, but I'm trying to get better with that and come up with a solution. And maybe I just need to find a babysitter for a whole day and do so much crafting that whole day and video. But if you really, really want me to do a DIY tutorial, I can try. I'm not going to make any promises because it is really difficult, but I can try. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope that it's good enough information that you can try it for yourself. It's super, super cute, and it's really not that difficult to make. And if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please do so. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Of course, leave your comments down below. I want to know what you think about it. And I'll see you in the next video, guys. Have a good day.